Kevin Durant has been traded to the Houston Rockets. Now, this happened earlier today. And when I seen this, it was surprising to a certain extent because all year there, and especially now around this time, after the Suns missed the play-in tournament, there's been a lot of conversations about where KD's going next, where he's going to get traded in the offseason and things like that. And as of now, it came down to really like three destinations. It was mainly just the Texas teams, San Antonio, Houston, and Dallas. And his preferred destination was on the Spurs with Wemby, which is understandable. But he ended up getting traded to the Rockets, one of the Texas teams. So that's another reason why it wasn't that surprising. But this is still crazy big news for the NBA and crazy big news especially for the Houston Rockets. So let's start off with the trade package. The trade includes Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th pick in the upcoming draft, and 5 future second-round picks going to Phoenix for KD. Now, in terms of winners and losers of this trade, I don't really know. I think this is kind of like an equal trade. I don't really have like a winner or loser yet, at least for you. But I think for Houston, this was like a lot of people don't really feel that great about it because KD is 36 years old. He's getting older. He turns 37 this year. So like maybe some people will think it's kind of bad for their future because they're getting an old player around a super young core who just burst onto the scene. But in my opinion, I think it's a pretty good trade for the Rockets. I think this can really help their offense a lot. One of the main things they struggled with last season, and especially in the playoffs going against Golden State, was their half-court offense, was scoring in the clutch and just really just generating offense. Most of their offense came from offensive rebounds. Because they would just grab their missed shots, go back up with an offensive rebound. That was most of their half-court offense, and they really didn't have anyone to rely on in the clutch. Like 5 minutes left, close game, they didn't have really like a go-to scorer that they can rely on at all times. That go-to scorer at most times was Jalen Green, and he got traded to the Suns. We'll get to that in a second, but that go-to scorer was Jalen Green, but he's not really a go-to scorer because he's not that consistent, and that's not someone that you would want to rely on in the clutch, especially seeing his recent playoff performances. He has like a couple good games and then a bunch of stinkers, and he's just a really streaky player. But with KD, he's one of the most consistent players ever. You can definitely rely on him to get you a bucket, definitely rely on him in the clutch. So this will really help their offense. But one thing that I think might suffer is their defense. They traded away Dylan Brooks. He's like one of their best defenders, maybe their second best defender, arguably. So that might hurt their defense a lot. But if you think about it, like KD, like I don't think putting KD on this team will really hurt their defense that much because KD's not a slouch on defense. Like he's a pretty good defender. And the projected starting lineup that I saw was Fred VanVleet, Amin Thompson, KD at the 3, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. And with that lineup, there's 2 really good defenders with Amin Thompson and Jabari Smith Jr. So, and then Alperen Sengun, he's been stepping up with defense, and I told you about KD's not a slouch. Even Fred VanVleet, he can really get in his stance, sit down on defense sometimes. So I think their defense won't take that much of a hit. But their offense will really benefit from this trade. Now, on the Suns side of things, they got two current players, Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, and they also have the 10th pick, which I don't know who they're going to draft, but we'll see. So with Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, if they do play for the Suns this year and don't get rerouted, I think that this will be a disaster. Like, I'm not going to lie. This is definitely going to be a disaster, especially with Jalen Green. Jalen Green's one of those players where he really only gives you scoring, like, and nothing else. He's kind of like a shot chucker. He's not a good playmaker. He's not a good defender. Like, if he's not scoring for you and has one of those stinkers that I was talking about earlier that he was having on the Rockets, which is one of the reasons he got traded for being inconsistent and not being able to really do anything else but score. If he's not having a good scoring game, he's not really doing anything else for your team. And on the Suns, they already have Beal and Booker. So I really don't know how this is going to look. Like, it was already looking nasty before, but with Jalen Green on this team, they're probably going to have to run Book at point guard again. I don't know who they're going to start at shooting guard, either Jalen Green or Bradley Beal. But if they do start Jalen Green at shooting guard, maybe they start Bradley Beal at small forward, which is nasty, and their defense is going to be horrible. I really don't know how it was going to happen. I think Jalen Green and Bradley Beal are basically on the same level at this point. So whoever they start, the person who isn't starting at shooting guard, I think should just go on the bench. But I don't know, man, because this is going to look really nasty for the Suns. Like, this is way worse. But I think getting a lot of second round and then the first round pick they got for this year was a good choice for them. But I heard a lot of rumors that they were going to reroute Jalen Green, and they're already looking to reroute Jalen Green. So that's why I was saying, like, if they even play for the Suns, because Jalen Green might not even suit up in the Suns jersey. Dylan Brooks might not either. I haven't heard any rumors about him getting rerouted, but he might just be with Jalen Green in another trade package to another team. So I don't know how that's going to work, but honestly, for their sake, I hope they do reroute Jalen Green, because Jalen Green, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal on the same team is that's just too many shooting guards. None of them can really play point guard. None of them are a true point guard. Uh, Booker has played point guard in the past, and I think he probably played some point guard this season too, maybe. Even though they had, I think it was Tyus Jones, but he didn't really have a great season for them. That's not the point though. Devin Booker is not a point guard. He was averaging like 5-6 assists maybe, trying to run the offense, but you see how that turned out. It didn't turn out well. So I think they really do need to trade Jalen Green for a point guard, hopefully. I mean, I don't know what the Suns can really do at this point, because they need a big, they need a point guard, they need everything. I don't know what they need. Yeah, it's not looking good for the Suns, and now their future, like, I mean, unless some of these future second round picks turn into the next Nikola Jokic, but their future right now is looking bleak. It really depends on who they draft at the 10th pick, really, and if they turn out to be good. Man, Devin Booker's future in Phoenix, like, I hope he's a one-teamer, but this really isn't looking good for him or the Suns organization. Like, I really don't know. I mean, but they were really in a corner, like, they had to trade KD. There were so many rumors, and, like, they weren't going anywhere with him, and I don't think they're going anywhere without him after this trade. So things aren't looking good for the Suns. But on the Rockets side of things, like, to get back on a good note, I think the Rockets are really set up for success. I think KD probably has 2 more years of, like, really good basketball that he's been playing, and then I think he might start to regress at around age 38. I hope he stays on the Rockets for the rest of his career. He's becoming like kind of a journeyman. This is his 5th team, and every team he's going to after the Warriors, he hasn't really won anything team-wise. So, I mean, I don't know how this is going to go with the Rockets. I don't see them winning a championship next year, but maybe they can make a deep playoff run, maybe even push to the finals, hypothetically. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. But this Kevin Durant trade will definitely raise the ceiling a lot for the Rockets. I fully doubt that they'll be first-round exits again after getting KD. This will really, really help their offense, as I've been saying this whole time. This is exactly the kind of player they've been needing, and that's why they were all in the trade rumors or whatever. But yeah, man, Kevin Durant is a Houston Rocket.